Everyone, Jason Nunn, Fisherman's Warehouse Marine, Sweet Street at Warners Bay, your Newcastle Honda marine dealer, guys. Thursday, and it is toasty hot down here at Eleebana. Tomorrow, they're telling us 36, 31, Saturday 37 on the coast on Sunday. So some really, really hot conditions. So it basically means if you're going to get fishing early and or into the evening, because yeah, it is going to be toasty. Tide, speaking of toasty, this Saturday, high tide, just about 9:15 Saturday morning. A really nice tide too, 1.84. And so we've got those, we haven't got 2 metre tides on the back of this new moon, but they're really consistent in and around about that 1.8 high tide. So it's a very good tide. The low tide Saturday is 4 p.m. And again, look, 0.44. So we still have about a 1.5 metre approximately tidal change through the bar. But tomorrow, being Friday, doesn't look too bad. In fact, they're saying that the easterly in the afternoon is only around 10 knots, where today, you can just see it puffing a little bit here now, there's potentially up around about 20 or 25 coastally. So we're going to get a little bit of sea breeze associated with this hot weather. Out wide, look, that warm water we're talking about, that 24 to almost 25 degree temperature, is in 1,000 fathoms. So it's out over the back of the canyons. They're sort of gouging in off the bay, just above the car park, but out down here off Swansea, it's gone out over the back of the mid. So approximately around about 22 and a half degree water on the edge on the mids. And it's a downhill tide at about 2 knots. So there's a little bit of current. Reports that I'm getting, there's still some striped marlin there. Now I know there's been the odd blue marlin, not big blue marlin, but blue marlin nonetheless, up off the bay. So definitely stripes and blues coastally at the present moment. No real reports of dolphin fish yet, but I'm assuming over the next few weeks that should, you know, really sort of get emphasised, I reckon, once that warmer water starts to come through. A lot of bait, as we made mention last week, guys, in on the farm, and a lot of big slimies. A lot of times there you get a little bit, you know, buggered by little pencil ones, but there are some very, very good slimies on that deeper water at the present. So no doubt there will be pelagic activity in on the farm area, even in to around about that 35 fathom line, so just out the back of the ships. And definitely I think you'll see striped marlin. No blacks yet. Obviously we said, you know, there's a few up around Southwest Rocks coming down, but just not yet. But as I say, this water is just happening, and the year is just transpiring by very, very quickly. The farm, look, last week we got some reports of some good snapper. Look, I spoke to Dan from Sandy Bottom today. He had a bit of a look out there over the weekend. Yeah, there was a few fish there, but he just sort of said, it's so hit and miss, and that's exactly what happens at this time of year on the farm. Not only on the farm, but that offshore fishery. Unless we had trag coastally at the present moment, it's a real doughy effect. So yes, you're getting a few small reds, squire as we like to call them, fish, you know, probably legal up to around about 40, maybe 45. But the trag are the mainstay, so good numbers of trag. Obviously, with trag, bag limit of 5 per person, 38 and above. But trag, flatties, the odd red, and a few bonito. Now, my reports from last week was good. I got some feedback back on bonito. There's been a few bonito in it around Stockton on the wall, which is great to see, some better ones. But in off Moon Island and down towards, say, you know, Mawson's, Birdie, that sort of area down there, starting to see a few bonito from all reports, but little guys, little bonito. So yes, it's good to start to see them, but they haven't built in any numbers yet, nor is there much little size. I think you've probably got a better opportunity fishing floating baits for reds in close on those tides and getting the better quality bonito on basically floating pilchers down the back. But it is encouraging. There's also a few rat kings, undersized kings, in and around Moon Island as well. So things look a little bit better as we start to get through. I know December's always tough on the inshore fishery. Rock fishing, well, again, rat kingies down there off the rocks at the moment, guys, and those small bonitos. So there is some pelagic activity where you can throw a few lures, and then after that, you know, get a bit of sun starts to rise up, maybe have a bit of a crack for a snapper. But basically the tides aren't too bad this weekend with that nice high tide around Saturday around 9. So I think that fishing up to that there and not a lot of swell would be ideal on the rocks. And I reckon that's going to be the pick for the beaches where you've really got to target tubes. There's a few dart, surprisingly enough, starting to move down the coast, and they'll thicken up over the next couple of months. But brim on the back of that prawn run, and definitely whiting and a few flatties. So plenty of encouraging if you get out there, but just going to be hot. I just don't think you're going to be able to fish the middle of the day at all. The prawn run this week, well guys, it was really lackluster. I've had a few reports. Spoke to Donnie there a couple of days ago. Him and Mark are pretty keen to get out there and have a bit of a dig. 3/4 of a kilo of prawns at best was the call, and not big either, Eastern Kings. The better prawns at the present moment, obviously I would think down around Tuggerah Lakes, where you'll probably get some good prawns down there if you're hauling, and definitely the Mile. We had an opportunity to duck up there on Friday night, Duncan and myself, and we got some really nice prawns out of the Mile. So hopefully that continues up there, but very lacklustre here, and I don't necessarily know why. Normally the December run, you're getting a lot of prawns out of the system. It just didn't really happen. However, the fishing did, and some very, very good whiting on the back of that run. So tube worms definitely, but live prawns, drifting live prawns down. Some beautiful fish above 40 centimetres. So, you know, anticipation, try to get out there this weekend or up towards Christmas, because once Christmas comes, guys, it's going to be a very busy neighbourhood down there around those Swansea Flats areas. That is for sure and certain. But beautiful whiting, a lot of brim, a lot of schooly brim, but better ones still there, and we're still seeing some really good numbers of flathead. Now, we talked about kings on the rocks and definitely around the island. Reports of a few kingies in the lake, so that's ideal. I still think the down-rigging live squid is the pick. The other bycatch to doing that for kings is, of course, mulloway. And when the traffic's, you know, quite busy, down-rigging is good, because a lot more of those fish will be on the bottom or just off the bottom, opposed to being up the top with all of that traffic. So things looking very, very good estuary-wise. And look, just when we come around back here, quite a number of crab pots around. So I just think summer's on its way. We're going to get some heat this weekend, and potentially get out on those flats and get some of those brim and whiting before everyone else gets them, when all the holiday makers turn up. Guys, as far as Fisherman's Warehouse Marine is, we're going to close up on Monday afternoon. We've got a couple of jobs to sort of finish off there. We'll probably have Tuesday, Wednesday off with a bit of luck, and we'll come back on the 5th, so Monday the 5th. If you've got any urgent calls and or you need a part, and I am down, you know, around and I'm able to help you out, please just call our normal number, our 4945 2152 number, and that'll divert to my phone. So if I can help you out, guys, I will, because I just want to keep as many people on the water this Christmas as we can. And I will probably do a little Christmas Eve report next Wednesday afternoon, when I can hopefully get a few more reports, because that offshore's got to improve out of sight, because it's just a little bit doughy at the moment. All in all, have a great Christmas, and I'll see you next Wednesday. See you then.